Hello, I'm back.
My wonderful husband is back, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to share more of our financial journey, and we're going to specifically talk about the debt snowball method, which is what we've been using to pay off our debt. And we hope that this video will definitely be a blessing to you and encourage you, and hopefully something that you can find that you can apply to your lives as well, if debt freedom is something that you are looking for, because it's certainly possible, and we definitely want you guys to see through us that it is possible to live a debt-free life. Right, Poop?
I agree.
Yeah. um, so, if you've ever felt like you are drowning in bills, feeling a ton of uncertainty, a lot of stress, one thing happening that's unexpected, can just, kind of throw everything off, is that, if it's not one thing, it's another, and then that another just kind of, puts you back in more of a financial bond. And it goes back to causing you to feel like you're drowning, to feel stressed. And so what we believe is that by not having debt, it will definitely take away some of those feelings that you may have when it comes to your finances. So, babe, why don't you share with everyone why it's important to you that as a family we are debt free?
It's important for me and for us, that we are in a position where we're debt free because we want to actually be free. Like, we don't want to be like debt. It's one of those things, and I know you got people out there that say, there's some good debt. In my opinion, I'm not sure about that, because even with houses and stuff like that, like, I don't want my income soaked up for 30 years, in a mortgage or whatever the case may be. So, for me, I want us to be free of debt because I want to free up my income to be able to, like I said, it's three things you can do with money: is invest it, give it, and spend it. So I want to free up all of my income to be able to invest it into our retirement and college funds and whatever business ventures we want to partake in. I want my money to be free to do that, and it's hard to do that if you. It's hard to do that. I don't know if that's going to glitch out or not, but I'll fix it. It's hard to do that if your money is tied up. So your income is what you have to build your wealth, whatever that may be. And a lot of times we think we can out earn, the debt. Like, I think I was trying to do that. I was like, if I can just get to, if I can make 85 or 90 or $100,000, like, I'll be fine. So I'm trying to out earn my habits instead of actually changing that. So I first want to change that, and I want to get in a position to where I don't have 60% or 50% of my income tied up into a car, or tied up into furniture, or tied up into credit cards, and tied up into all these other things that we impulse on, because a lot of those things aren't necessary, especially at the level that we get it. So I want us to be debt free so that we can, when we're ready to retire, we're in a good position, and when we're ready to go on a vacation, we're in a position to go wherever we want. And I'm not stressing about what the government doing and what the economy doing, because I've freed myself up from debt, because they can't repo a car that's paid for.
Right.
They can't close on a house that's not closed, but
Foreclose.
they can't foreclose on a house that's paid for. So if I'm in a position where all this stuff is taken care of, the economy can go up, it can go down, I have that cushion, for my family. We're not stressing about, the day-to-day of what's going to happen.
Right. And that's true financial peace right there.
Facts.
So the debt snowball. What we did was we listed, of course, all of our debt from smallest to largest. And from listing all of our debt from smallest to largest, we then looked at all of our payments for that debt each month and decided to attack the smallest debt first. So you want to share a little bit more about like when we listed everything out and started attacking the smallest?
I'm not talking about the actual snowball. Talking about what it is. Well, snowballing is, and it's not our concept. Like, we didn't come up with this. It's been around for a while, but it's something Dave Ramsey used in his 7 baby steps. And for me, it was because we all want to, in our minds, like, we want to be well off. We want to retire. You know, we want to be in a good place financially. Everybody wants that, and I think I desired that too, but I didn't have no clue as to how I was going to do that. And what the baby step does for me, and even this Dave Ramsey thing, it gave me some direction. It gave me some structure to it. So basically what it is you take all of your debt, all of your things that you owe on, and you list the payments that you, you list the debts, I'm sorry, from smallest to largest. And you focus on, the thing is, you have to focus on that smallest one first. Focus on that. Everything that you got, you throw at that smallest one. You pay minimum payments on everything else, and you attack that first one, and you knock it out. And so if the first, let's say you have your first is $100. Let's say your second is $200. Let's say the third one is $300. So I'm attacking that first one with the $100. I'm paying it. I pay that off. Now that I paid that off, I take that $100 plus the $200 that I was paying on the second one, and I attack the second one now. And you just follow this step. And once I pay that off, now I have $300 that I can throw at a debt, and so on and so on. So by the time you get to the end, you should have a good amount of money that everything that you were paying in debt, it should be rolled over into the next debt. And that's why they call it a snowball, because as it goes, the amount of money and the amount of power that you have, it builds up. So that's what it is. And it's a simple concept. And you have people that, and even mathematically, like, people would say you should be paying on the one with the highest interest. And that's true if you're doing math, but this isn't a math thing. It's more of it's a behavior and a mindset type of thing. So you didn't get in debt by mathematics. Like, you knew what it cost. Like, that didn't stop you from getting in. So it's not going to necessarily stop you from getting out. I mean, help you to get out. What this does is it helps you build a routine. It helps you build. See, it allows you to see some success, because people don't want to, like, if you start with the one with the highest interest, for us, that'll be a student loan. That's our largest one. So we wouldn't see any progress, if we started with that. So starting with the smallest, it allows you to see that progress and allow you to feel like you're making traction. So by the time you get to the end, you have a rhythm going, your mindset has changed, and it helps you be able to focus and knock those things out.
Yeah, and what's so important today is gonna be having those victories in the beginning is really gonna help motivate you, because once you see that you've been able to pay some things off, you're gonna feel it's going to be very rewarding. It's going to be very satisfying for you. And so once you start experiencing that, that's going to motivate you to keep going. But then also seeing the money that you now have back in your account is also going to be rewarding for you. So for us, when we look at the amount of money every month that we're able to put towards our debt, it makes us feel really good knowing that when we're debt free, that we're going to have that amount of money to put towards our retirement or for Jordan's college or whatever it may be. We know that we're going to have a nice cushion because we won't owe anybody any money to that. So I think, like, it's definitely proven to work for us. And, the more we pay off, the more motivation we feel to continue, in the journey, and feeling like, we can make it, because the student loan that we're paying right now has the highest interest rate. It's like 14.5, 14.5 or 14. It's like 14%. It's something crazy. So even in thinking about the interest that, we're paying back, we want to be able to see interest on our investments, helping our money grow, not paying a ton of interest on money that we owe to somebody else to help them continue to become rich off of us. Right. So we want to be seeing interest on our money as opposed to on money that we owe to someone else. So the Debt Snowball has definitely helped, us a ton. And, just to add to what he, was saying, that smallest debt that you have, if it's, $100, once you do your budget and you factored in those minimum payments and all of your other revolving bills, money that you have left over should go towards that debt as well. So like if you get done with your budget and you've put everything in its proper category, and let's just say, oh, okay, I got an extra $75. Well, that $75 would go towards that smallest debt. So it's not like you're leaving, when it comes to your budget, you're not leaving any money without a name on it. So you have to remember that too, that any extra money, it all goes towards the smallest debt that you're focusing on right now. You have anything to add to that?
No, I think, like I said, it's just, to me, it gave me a sense of direction, because I think a lot of people are lost financially, and we just don't know. We don't have any structure in that area. We don't know how to maneuver in it. So doing this, it made me feel like, okay, it went from a place of I'll just have this student loan until I die, to now, no, I can actually get rid of this, and actually I could be done by 2021 if I focus. So that's what it has done, for me. It's the mental, even though like we're in debt still, like right now, I'm not on edge about it. Like I legit have peace about it, because I feel like I'm working a plan. Yeah. I know, God he's on it every month. I don't know how, but every month, because we have this plan, it always
works out. Yeah. So when you get done with this video, one thing I would like to encourage you guys to do is to write down, not even necessarily all of your debt, but write down all of your minimum payments. And think about your minimum payments, and think about that if you didn't have that debt, that money could be going towards something else. Yeah. It could be going towards your retirement. It could be going towards you paying off your home. I mean, it just frees you up. It frees you up.
Frees you up. And I think put your car in there, because normally the car is the one that soaks up a good amount. And I think we impulse buy cars because we look at cars as a status symbol, instead of looking at it for what it is getting me from point A to point B. And I'm not saying you can't have nice things, but in time. So your car may be soaking up, if your car payment is $500, $600, $700, $800 plus the insurance on it, that's a lot of money that you could be putting elsewhere. And because we're gonna keep this under 15 minutes, but cars is like if it's a small portion of your world, that's fine. But in no other place would you say, if you look at the totality of your car, if your car costs $30,000, that's $30,000. Now in the next 6 years, in the next 5 years, it's gonna lose 60% of that value. So if I gave you $30,000 and I told you to place it somewhere, you can place it here where it's gonna lose, it'll be worth 10 in about 5 years, or you can place it over here in this good growth stock, and you could profit another 15% or 20% off, 12 to 15% off of it. No, you wouldn't put your money into this car and lose that money over time. So I think we have to, kind of look at, reevaluate what we consider cars to be, and because they soak up so many. I know so many people that are car poor. Like the car looks nice, and you can afford the payment, but it's soaking up 60% of your income, and that's money that you can't use in investment. That's money that you can't use to go take care of home or whatever you need to do. So I don't want to get off on a tangent about that.
Yeah, that's a sensitive subject
It's a sore subject.
for him.
So, yeah,
For
I get
him,
it.
cause he got a car, and I guess he'll have to come on it. You'll share that story at some point about how you just thought it. You realized that it wasn't necessarily the wisest, like even though it was affordable.
Yeah, I could afford the payments. Like they're not coming to pick it up. When I think about the money that I put in it in 3 years and what it's worth and what I could have done with that money,
Yeah,
it infuriates me. But that's another subject.
it is. And guys, when it comes to debt, of course, like we're Christians, we're believers, and the Bible is very specific about debt as well. Proverbs 22:7 says, just as the rich rule the poor, the borrower is the slave to the lender. And we don't want to be a slave to anybody, but when you are having to pay people money back for what they've given you, you're in bondage.
You're in bondage.
And
even just like when you loan like a family member or somebody's money, that tension that comes with that, that's the Bible talks about money. I don't know why people don't see this part, but the Bible talks about money a lot. Actually, all of Proverbs is pretty much all about money and how to handle money. But I cut you off, my bad.
yeah, and I mean, the Bible tells us to be to owe no man, like nothing but love. But we're in a society today that it pushes debt. It makes you feel like you can't be wealthy, you can't prosper without debt. And that is not true. You very well can live a successful, prosperous life and not owe anybody. It's very doable. And, that's the life that, we want to live. We want to, leave a legacy behind for, not just for, our children, but, for our children, so that they know. We want to plant really good seeds in them so that they don't find themselves in bondage to other people because they're getting paid and all their money is going out.
And the community, we're like your community, like your church. I'm tired of broke churches. Like I'm tired of broke communities, And I think if everybody could grasp this and stop impulsing spending and educate themselves on just being financially or fiscally fit, it changes everything. It changes your community. It changes your church. It changes the things you teach your kids, the things you show your kids by action. So that's where we are. I'm not trying to say that we're perfect. Like we've been on this journey about 6 months, but the change that has occurred in 6 months is far more than anything that's happened in the previous 31 years of my life.
Right. And one thing too for us that I think has been really important is just being confident in who we are and not feeling as though we have to try to live life like anybody else, or not feeling like, we gotta have the car, we gotta have this house, we gotta have these items, but realizing that the material things that we have, they don't define us, and then we don't want to look like money and not actually have any money. That's not wise, to try to impress people who are also broke and make them think that you're doing good and that you're living your best life, but the reality is you 2 paychecks away.
Right, or something bad going.
If something happens, it throws everything off. If the transmission go out on your car, are you prepared financially to be able to handle that, or is that another thing that you're gonna have to do to put yourself in some more debt? So it's just stuff to think about. Really being wise and really being good stewards, over your money. And it's just time to break curses.
Agreed.
So I mean, this was Debt Snowball, and I know we kind of talked about some other stuff, but essentially, smallest debt, attack it. The money you were putting towards that debt goes towards the next debt, and so on until you really have this nice size snowball that you're able to put a good bit of your money towards your debt. And we've definitely seen our snowball grow in these last 6 months, and we are excited to see it grow even more and to be debt free in 2 years.
That's it, and we gotta go because I don't know how much longer that battery's gonna hold up. But we are excited that we're actually bringing financial peace to our local church, New Life Christian Ministries. I will put the link in the description below, but it's a 9-week course, and this is, the program that we've been on, and it's life changing for me. Like it really has been probably the most beneficial thing that I've done in my life at this point. Can I say that?
No.
Why you can't say that? I'm saying it now.
Jesus,
as far as
there's me.
Jesus, yeah, Jesus. I don't know about the rest of it, but I'm gonna put the link in the description. Like I said, it's a 9-week course. We're gonna go through all of the baby steps because this is just one part. This is just one part of the
Right.
The program. So like you can't just snowball it and think that's it. Like you snowball this so that you can go to the next step. And the end is to build wealth. Like when I retire, I want at least 1.6 million in my net worth to be at least 1.6 million so that I can retire in peace. So it's not just this one part that you have to get, but it's the rest of it that you build, that you get to build wealth and you pay off your house and do all this other stuff.
And the good thing about financial peace too is that it covers everything. I mean, like it from savings, college fund, investing. It talks about
Life
insurance, being a
Stocks.
blessing, stocks, when you're going out to purchase things. So, I mean, there's nothing that it doesn't cover when it comes to your finances. And it is really a tool to help you have financial peace. And for us, even though we're just on baby step number 2, we do feel peace already.
Yes.
When it comes to our finances. So it's definitely something that you should consider doing. So at New Life in Greensboro,
It's
Sunday,
open to the public. It's not just
it's
for
not a
members.
New Life thing. There is a fee for the materials, but that is for the materials.
It doesn't go to the church.
It
It doesn't
doesn't
come
go
to
to church.
us.
We're not
It
getting
goes
paid.
to get your
It's
books
free.
and give you access to the online portal.
Right.
And every dollar, the plus version of that. So we have to go.
We do. So Sunday, October 6th, 1:30. He'll put all the information in the bio below if you're interested. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you have any questions, message us. We love to help you and share more with you.
Be easy, not greasy.